You're listening to The Sizzle on Iron Skillet Radio and Iron Skillet Television.
You know what it is. You know what it is. It's The Sizzle in the building with the hottest talk in the 219, the only talk of the 219. You know who's in the building. He's Jay Sizzle. I'm G Sizzle. And Jay, the question is right now, is this going to be the most historic Super Bowl of all time? Is this the Super Bowl that we first see? Well, I guess you'd have to first see it because it's the first time it's happened, where two melanated African-American quarterbacks face off in a showdown of the throwdowns.
Well, okay. Yeah, I mean, it's true that it's the first time we see two black quarterbacks coming in, but at any point in time, are they just going to be called quarterbacks?
No.
Can we just get to that point where they're quarterbacks?
Yeah, still can't get there.
You know, I mean, is it historic? Yes, it is. Is it a great thing? Yes, it is. But when I think of Jalen Hurts and Patrick Mahomes, my first thing that pops in my head is black quarterback. Mm-hmm. What pops in my head is quarterback. You know, how good of a quarterback they are. You know, you look at Patrick Mahomes, people are saying that he might be one of the greatest of all time if he can stay at this pace that he's outpacing a lot of the greats right now. Right. You know, you look at Jalen Hurts, a reconstituted Jalen Hurts, a man who's rose from the dead, almost out of the league, it seemed, at one point in time. You know, who's been displaced in a number of different places and who's figured out, worked on his game, and got it to the point now where he's the leader of one of the toughest teams in the NFL. And he's been rested up. He's going to look good. He's going to run with the football, and he's a better thrower of football than what I think we've ever seen him be. So this is one of the most epic times in football history because you have two teams who are pretty evenly matched. Mm-hmm. I really believe, you know, you look at the offensive line for the Eagles with Jason Kelce holding it down in the center, and their two guards, you look at this, that offensive line is really good enough to go up against that 49ers defensive line. And
wait a minute. Did you say the 49ers?
Did I say the 49ers?
You said the 49ers.
The Chiefs. That was me hoping. Come on, Purdy. That was me hoping. My bad. I was in the wrong. I was in the wrong conference and everything. I told you I was tired. Did I not just tell you I was tired? That's why the show gonna be a half an hour. That's all I got left. Tired.
So Super Bowl history comes in the form of two quarterbacks, Patrick Mahomes, and you have now the newly minted Jalen Hurts, the man. He's the man of the hour right now.
Yeah,
has a super team around him. Jalen Hurts has a all melanated sister squad, and they're doing his PR, they're doing his management. Jalen is doing the thing. He is the new it guy.
So he's got the all black PR people too.
All black.
Well, kudos.
Let me ask this question. And I know
you've asked me all these questions today. No, I don't want to answer that another way.
Okay. Well, you got to answer this one.
Go ahead.
When it comes to Patrick Mahomes, do you think of him traditionally when you say black quarterbacks? Do you think Patrick Mahomes?
No, it also is his significant other. Is she? I don't think she's melanated. Does that take him out of the melanated category?
That's if you're talking about not melanated,
see, that's why look. Is it historic? Yes. Should it make any impact on this game whatsoever? Absolutely not. It just shouldn't. I mean, we shouldn't be, look at the black quarterbacks playing. Can he just be people at some point in time? I think at some point in time, can we just be people? I mean, I know it's still a lot of oppression and things like that going on all over the place. Stuff's happening all over to people of color. But when you look at this situation, at some point in time, we just have to be men who play football.
Sure.
You know, and was it Jack Johnson? I think he said, before I was anything, I was a man.
Sure.
You know,
true.
And I think
true.
Yeah, so I think at the essence of everything, we got to look at these guys who themselves are not trying to be super black. And you see Patrick Mahomes definitely not trying to be super black. Mm-hmm. You know, because is his mom white?
Yes.
So I mean, which side does he have to take? The black side? Well, we know in America, we know that once you have any black blood in you down to what 6 generations, I think, that you're considered black in America.
Here's the thing. Which one does he subscribe to?
I
And
think
I
he
don't
just
mean the
subscribed.
sizzle. What does he subscribe to? What does he
I think
call
he
himself?
subscribed. No, I've never really heard him say it. I've never really heard him talk about take up black issues or anything else like that. He just always been Patrick Mahomes. You know, he's just been Patrick Mahomes. And I think it's okay if he's just Patrick Mahomes. You don't have to take sides. I mean, it's just like, Barack Obama. I mean, which side, but now he went over there and changed his name from Barry, Who named him Barry? Whose idea was that?
It's just one of those things. You're like, well, you thought that was a good idea? Oh yeah, we'll just call him Barry.
Yeah, that's why I changed him. I don't think I'll be Barack. But so you look at these type of situations, and it's like, yeah, we know you're black in America if you got any mixture of black in you. But the question is, I really, until people started talking about it, I really did not think about this being a black quarterback situation.
Mm.
And then the question is, because you're a black quarterback, you throw the ball any different than a white quarterback?
That's always been the question. And that's the thing that when you look at how these quarterbacks are judged and how they're rated, how they're observed, how they're talked about, the question is their color, is their hue, is their skin tone, does that make them less of a quarterback because they are whatever you want to say, because they are what? Because does it make Tua less of a quarterback because he is?
And my point exactly, right? Do we have to put the moniker? Oh, he's a black quarterback. Oh, that means he must run the football. It's always he's more athletic.
Yeah.
He can't. But we saw some great black quarterbacks. One of the greatest passers of the football ever was Warren Moon.
Mm-hmm.
Way ahead of his time. Not way ahead of his time, but just not in the right color in his time. You've seen the Warren Moons. You've seen, I can't think of his name now. For the Titans?
Well,
McNair.
You can't say, yeah. Well, I was going to say, okay, so Randall Cunningham, was technically in that time and era, he was the mobile quarterback. He was
mobile.
He was the preeminent Michael Vick.
But so was Fran Tarkenton. He was mobile too.
Quite mobile.
Yeah.
Quite mobile.
All those guys moved. Brett Favre moved around.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you see young Brett Favre when he was at Atlanta out there with who's he with? Was he there with Michael Vick? I want to see he was at.
Was he there with Andre Rison?
Andre Rison. Who was Favre with? I can't remember now. Doggone it! I gotta look that up now. But you saw Favre in Atlanta. He was running around slinging the pill all over the place, and then they booted him up out of there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Who was the quarterback?
But I don't know. When it comes to Steve, I would still say he got the moniker of the mobile quarterback.
Who's that?
Steve McNair was just an all-around. See, my thing is, I know your thing is Dan Marino's the greatest quarterback without a Super Bowl ring.
Yes. Say it with reverence.
In the 80s, the greatest quarterback with or without a Super Bowl ring was Warren Moon. He was the man that everybody should have been like. He was that guy. He was on horrific teams, but he was also a man that was a 5-time Grey Cup champion. He had been a champion in college. He has hardware and things that he did and how he was able to live. And I think, what was it, when Warren Moon went to Minnesota, I think that was when he really got some kudos for being a great quarterback. And then you had the run in Minnesota. Then you had the Dante Culpeppers. You had guys, but not all melanated black quarterbacks have been mobile. Not all of them.
No. There've been a lot of great pocket passes. And then you got a lot of guys who were just, because of the color of their skin, were never given an opportunity to sit in the pocket and throw the football.
Mm-hmm.
Because of the way you saw the black quarterbacks coming out of HBCUs and how they were mobile and they were rolling them out. But quarterbacks have been rolling out forever. Quarterbacks have been running the veer forever. So you had running quarterbacks a long time. You had run any team that ran the veer, any team that ran the option, any team that ran anything like that, there was a running quarterback back there.
Mm-hmm.
Especially the veer option. All those teams, all those Alabama teams, those are veer option teams. Namath was running the veer back then.
Mm-hmm.
So And we don't never think of Joe Namath as a running quarterback, but he was when he played at Alabama.
Very much so. Very mobile. I would say that Joe Namath was more mobile than Steve Young. When you look at one of those things, Joe Montana, more mobile than Steve. Steve Young just scrambled for his life.
Well, and the thing about running quarterback, Steve Young, they have the great clip of him when he was scrambling and he starts stumbling about 15 yards before the end zone, and they run that clip over and over again about how great he ran. But I guarantee you can find clips of Tom Brady juking somebody and running for 15 yards. You can find clips of any of these guys.
Do you forgot then Tom Brady juking Brian Urlacher?
Yeah, put it to him. Watch me now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it was so disheartening.
So I mean, you could put that in any frame that you want to put it in, but if a quarterback pulls it down and takes off with it, does he automatically a running quarterback?
All right, to me, let's do that. Let's answer that question today while we're here. Does it make you a running quarterback if you pull the ball down and move out?
No, if you pull it down because that linebackers dropped off, everybody's got their backs to you. Right. You step them in the pocket and everybody's gone, and you take off and run.
And that makes the field is wide open.
And the middle of the field is wide open. That's a good 12, 15 yards for you. I'm gonna take those. That doesn't make you a running quarterback. That means you're a quarterback. You saw a good option and you took it. So I mean, the moniker of running quarterbacks so much, unless you're really running an option. You know, we have the read option coming to NFL football now, you know, where they're playing the read, but the read is just giving you a different option now because they're isolating the end, you know, and they want to go back. The read gives you an opportunity to play the short game too, because now we can go back and bring some of that old 49ers offense into a run game. And now, you know, we're going to take this ball and we're going to put it in the belly and see what that end's going to do. The end does do, we're going to pull it and throw the short ball. You don't see him running read option and throwing a bomb off of it.
No, they don't.
They don't, right? It's just it's just a long handoff. That's all it is. It's not anything anymore. It's just you're just reading the end. So all you're doing. So they just take some premises of these quick strike offenses that you saw develop back in the day, back in college. You know, some of these air raid type offenses. Well, those air raid offenses a little bit different because they were running these big long 9 routes and just attacking people. But these control type offenses that was getting the ball out into the flat, getting the ball out into guys who were sitting there on the seam, you know, and that's what they were doing with it. So and if it wasn't there, the quarterback pulled it and he ran for 3 or 4 yards. Right. So he runs for 3 or 4 yards every once in a while. He breaks one here and there. Does that make him a running quarterback? No, that just means he got 3 or 4 yards. It's like
here's the question, Jay. If we're talking about quarterbacks, and we talked about Justin Fields probably ad nauseum. We have probably more Justin Fields videos, reactions, analysis, videos. We probably got a catalog as large as his dad has, probably, of his film from high school to the NFL. But you look at a Bears team that wants Justin next year to run more, and they want to scheme him more into the run because you saw that this is an effective tool. But a better effective tool is getting him better offensive players, getting him more weapons, and getting him to understand how to release the ball, when to release the ball, not hold the ball, run if you have to, but then take your shots like you did when you first got not just to Georgia, but when you first got to Ohio State.
Well,
you were able to take those shots. You didn't see Justin Fields running around all over for his life at Ohio State.
Can I ask you a question?
What's that?
Have you seen Justin Fields going down with Tom Brady?
Have I seen? Wait, did you say going out with Tom Brady?
Going down with Tom Brady. Have you seen him going down there and throw the ball around with Tom Brady?
Listen. That would have been the first call I made. Between Tom Brady and I'd be on those Manning shows. I'll tell you that much right now. You would see me and they'd be like, Justin is like another part of the family. You know, it's Peyton and then, you know, it's Archie and then Justin. He's like family.
There's tape of Shedeur Sanders, who's going to be the starting quarterback for the Colorado Buffaloes. with Tom Brady, practicing with Tom Brady, and Tom Brady working with him.
Right.
There's a 20-minute clip out there. So you know there's a 20-minute clip. He spent hours with Shedeur Sanders.
Mm-hmm.
And with pads on throwing the football. Hours.
You should.
Justin Fields did not get on a plane somewhere and say, hey, look, TB12, I've been taking all your supplements and everything. Can you help me throw this football?
You know, funny enough, even though we don't give him enough credit, I haven't seen him really work out with any of the great quarterbacks. He hasn't called Jay Cutler.
Call somebody. I mean, I'm sure
Jay Cutler
with,
knows how to work behind a Bears line better than anybody else.
I'm sure you work it out with somebody, but man, you got to get down there with the goats. You got to go you got to go where the goats at. Like, look, man, help me spin this thing. Help me. I need help. You know, because I cannot keep running this football like this because I'm going to get, as you say so elegantly, clapped up.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
He's going to get wrapped up, clapped up, and they're going to put him away on the shelf.
And this is my biggest problem with the Bears right now. I mean, are you going to drop 10 years on this kid? You know, I love the kid. I like his moxie. I think he's tough. I think everything, but I think he relies on his feet much more than he relies on his head.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's got to throw the football from in the pocket. I mean, look at Patrick Mahomes. What does he do? Does he get outside, break contain? Yes. Does he run every once in a while? Yes. But what is Patrick Mahomes known for? Throwing the football.
Throwing the football, throwing tight windows, and making passes that the normal or average quarterback couldn't do. And that's something that you see Jalen Hurts has learned over the year. He didn't start the year great, and he wasn't tremendous throughout the year. But what you saw from Jalen was a steady improvement, trusting what you see, reading your keys, looking and saying, okay, you all hold. You're going to have to hold. The line has to hold. That should be every time you go back to the huddle, you've got to hold. You got to give me time to make these passes.
And look, let me tell you something right now. That offensive line for the Eagles is probably the best offensive line in the NFL right now.
Right.
I think you got who you got over there? Let me look at this one more time. Ooh.
Well, the one thing I do know is that the Eagles and the Chiefs have the top-rated centers in the league.
Jason Kelce.
Yeah, if you're looking at top-rated centers and you're looking at who's actually playing these positions, who's doing what, then you again, if I'm looking at it, all right, your highest graded centers this season from Pro Focus Football is let's see, Creed Humphrey at 89.9% is his grade. And then you've got Jason Kels, who is at 88.9.
Yeah, and you got Kelster, you got Lane Johnson playing a tackle. I mean, you got Jordan, was it Melita? Is that how you spell it? Is it Malata?
I think it's Melita.
And I know they got a big Samoan up in there too that's just nasty. Isaac something. Samaloyola, something like that.
No, please stop that.
But they've got a great offensive line in front of him, which keeps Jalen Hurts upright. And then what does Jalen Hurts do? It's got him there. He throws the football. Now we saw what he do. He started running around out there, and then what happened? He got nuclear bombed.
Yeah, actually against the Bears.
Right, and you should. Why you run? Why you running? You were up like that. You know, that's a bad scheme going on right there. The Bears aren't going. You 2 touchdowns up on the Bears. The Bears are not coming back.
Here's the funny part: when you looked at the playoffs, not so much with the 49ers because they were in a dogfight in that 49ers game. But if you go game before that with the Giants, you look at Jalen's ability to be great was when he was able to sit in the pocket, dissect the play, and then make the appropriate pass or pick the right person.
Yeah, when you have time, you can be great.
Here's the thing. If you watch that Eagles game, when you watch the Giants came in with a lot of momentum. Everything seemed to be rolling their way. I never thought that they were better, but I thought they were going to put up a better fight. But obviously, once you get a fully engaged Jalen, a fully engaged Eagles line, offensive line, and you get their playmakers moving, that Giants game was over at the end of the first quarter.
Well, yeah,
it was over.
As soon as you get A.J. Brown moving, you get Devonta Smith moving. He can get loose out there. Big play strikeability. You give Hurts a little bit of time. behind that really good offensive line. He's looking good. Then he's staying upright. The problem that happens is when Hurts starts pulling it down too early and won't sit in the pocket long enough, and then he starts taking off, and he's a big guy, so he wants to run people over. He needs to learn. He needs to learn to slide, and definitely slide better than Jalen Hurts does. I mean, not Jalen Hurts and Justin Fields, because Justin Fields is a former baseball player and can't slide. I don't understand that.
Watching a lot of these young guys try and slide, there has to be a slide class. There has to be a slide professional who can teach quarterbacks how to take that slide.
I think it's a little bit
roll that leg up under them.
I think it's a little bit too much moxie going on, so they're trying to get those extra few yards.
Okay,
instead of just declaring early and just going down.
One of the things, and I know we're getting ready to close, but one of the things I saw with sliding quarterbacks, and one technique that they've been using more and more as time has gone on, it's really effective, is the high cleat slide.
Yeah.
You see these guys coming in high cleat, that cleat up.
Yeah.
And that's going to stop a lot of players from trying to harpoon or spear them some way, because you're not going to run into that cleat. You don't want any part of that cleat.
And the other side, too, keeps those legs from getting rolled up underneath you. And that's the biggest problem. With these new Australian rules football tackles that they're using now, they're grabbing people and twisting them down to the ground. You see more and more knees get tore up, ankles get rolled up now because they're tackling different. But, so I know we're getting ready to go. I know we're going to do our picks on Saturday night when we do our show.
Right.
On at 8 o'clock. You guys got to listen. We're so good on
WGVE 88.7 FM. If you're in the region, you got to make sure that you turned on. You can catch us on live stream. You can catch us anywhere, podcast, anywhere you get your information. But just saying.
Yeah, we're come listen to us. We're hilarious. Anyway, I know we'll do our picks the night before. But who you got winning this thing?
Well, actually, I'm going to tell you this. I know it's going to be hard for some people to hear this. I know. It's going to be difficult. But this is what needs to be said. I have the SIZZLE winning. I have the SIZZLE winning because this coming weekend on the show, we're going to have C Snapper. Lady C's going to be in the building.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about hip hop, football, current events. We're going to talk about all of that. And we're going to give you our picks. We're going to give you the pick to click so that you can make a little money on Saturday night. So when you get ready to watch the Super Bowl, you can do it. I'm going to give it to you. I'm giving it to you Saturday. That's what I'm
doing. So like a whole plan.
I think it's a whole plan. I think you should check in. I'm telling you, we're doing big things for Black History Month. This is the Black History Month music series. We had my man, Brother Quabena in. We're going to have Pink Gator on. If you know who Pink Gator is, the bros know who Pink Gator is.
Yeah.
We've got national artists. We've got people coming on to come and give you the information you need. That stuff you love.
Absolutely. And working on more guests as we speak.
Hey, man, shout out to my man. No, man, shout out to Maxita. Max Sizzle was in the building, man. We did a show with Max, and I love Mac, man. That's my dude.
Yeah. Mac's my guy. He needs to come on more.
Yeah, we got to get him on more. We got to talk a little bit more basketball, but because we're talking about football, listen. This is my quick one, Jay.
Okay.
I believe
the children are our future,
and teach them well, and then let them lead the way. Yes. I believe that if the Eagles can control the line of scrimmage in the first quarter, if they can get back and start touching Patrick Mahomes, then I believe the Eagles have a straight line victory to a Super Bowl.
Ooh, straight line. Ooh. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna sound real cliche right now, but I think the team who has the football last is gonna win.
Hey, okay.
So
with these teams, man, the way that especially the playoffs have been going, the way this season's been going.
Yeah.
Basically, if you're Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, if you're Patrick Mahomes, now Brock Purdy, like what's going to happen with Brock Purdy? Nobody really knows what's going to happen.
You know what? I'm hurt for Brock Purdy. I am.
Are you?
Pain. Here's the guy, Mr. Irrelevant. Think about this now. This is Rudy with actual ability to play football. You know what I'm saying? he's Mr. Irrelevant. I mean, he's not even supposed to make you footballs. He's supposed to be out there literally hoping to make the practice squad. Right. But he's also might be one of these guys too that was falling so far in the draft. They were hoping that he was going to fall out of the draft so that he could pick and choose where he wanted to go. I think he was a talent. So I think he might be Mr. Irrelevant, but the 49ers are like, nah, I think we're gonna tuck him away. You know, maybe this is a guy who's got decent enough talent we could develop. And here's a guy who took a chance, not took a chance, was given a chance, and balled out for 6 straight games. And then he got the freak injury, you know, with the death 5 fingers of death touch from the Eagles. So they hit him with the glowing hands. Who's the master? And they showed up. And they hit him with the. And they got
who's the master?
And they got both the quarterbacks with the same thing. See, look,
hit him with the show enough.
They hit him with the show enough. They got and then they hit him twice. I think they've been training, to tell you the truth.
You know who they needed in that game?
Who's that?
The Last Dragon.
This is the Last Dragon. That's still a great movie. When's the last time you watched The Last Dragon?
Listen, man, I just
The Last Dragon too. The Last Dragon is so great. It's just
how I feel about Vanity. You know, it just I can't. Yeah.
I mean, it's so bad. It's so great all at the same time.
Yes, it's terribly good. That's okay. That's it. It's terribly good. How about that?
You know what? I might have tuned it up this week. Some parts of it because it's just fantastic.
Yeah, it is one of them. So if, in some respect, if the Eagles can channel their inner show enough,
yeah,
this is gonna be a game. This is gonna be now. But
show enough.
Let me say this though.
Yeah,
don't sleep on what Kansas City's front line can do.
Oh no,
those boys that last game, they showed you they can show up and show out when they need to.
Let me get y'all some real understanding. If Gunslinging Pat is feeling good that day and he get a little time back there,
yeah. If Eagles don't get back there and tap him,
oh boy, it's gonna be a long day. Y'all better get back there to him, because if he can sit back there and bounce around a little bit and flat foot sling that thing 65 let's do that. Put it on you. Hey, I knew Patrick Mahomes was the truth. I think they had him on some pre-NFL special.
Okay.
And they have him throwing the football with a gun on him, you know, with the radar gun. And I think he hit over 63 miles an hour throwing football.
Final question there.
Sure.
Which one's better?
Ooh, what do you mean?
Patrick Mahomes, Jalen Hurts.
Oh, Patrick Mahomes, best quarterback in the league. What?
Wait a minute. How do you just say that? How do you say that just so cavalierly that he's the best? Have you seen Jalen Hurts at his best? He's phenomenal. He has these little white shoes on that match his pants and his socks. You know what he has? I tell you what he has that Patrick Mahomes doesn't have.
Go ahead.
He's got the glow.
He does. Hey, look.
Have you looked at him?
Yeah, he does have that glow. He looked like when he came out the water.
Yeah,
and the glow. Yeah, that glow.
He's got the glow, and you look at him, he's like,
who's the master? I am.
When you're like, what? Oh my God. And for all those young people who don't know what the Last Dragon is, first of all,
go with Ty-Mac. Dude, man, you got to go see the Last Dragon,
dude. One of the greatest urban films of all time.
It don't get no better, man. It don't get no better.
I don't know. Was it Rick Rubin? I can't remember. Was that a Russell Simmons movie?
I think it was. And I think you had because they owned a pizza shop.
Right.
And it was Ty-Mac, Beyonce. Not Beyonce. Beyonce was like 4. Ty-Mac, it was
She might have been 14. I don't know. I never know. I don't know Beyonce's age ever.
Well, I mean, she's younger than Jay-Z.
Really?
Yeah, she's younger than Jay-Z.
You sure
about that? We talking about Destiny's Child now. Go back some.
Man, I think they were like 30 in Destiny's Child.
What are you trying to say?
I'm just saying.
What are you trying to say?
I think they were grown folk.
Yeah, they've been around for a minute. But
man, do you know that The Last Dragon came out in 1985?
It was great. I remember watching The Last Dragon on VHS tape.
Yeah.
And I had, I think my nephews were over. They were younger. And they just keep replaying because they had the little kid. What was the little, either Japanese or Korean kid that did all the karate back in those days? Real small kid.
Yeah, I can't remember his name.
And he did that flying jump kick, and they just rewinded it until the tape broke.
Yeah.
They broke my tape, man. Yeah. You ever see your tape breaking the player when it just tear apart?
And then you hear that sound.
And it starts spinning.
Yeah. Bad. Boy, that was a film. You know what now, man? They're like 6 films, really. Seriously, all jokes aside. Like Action Jackson.
Oh, great.
Harlem Nights.
Great.
The Last Dragon.
I'm gonna get you, sucker.
I'm gonna get you, sucker. Classic. Seriously, a classic. If you didn't see that, something wrong with you.
Hey, I'm gonna get you, sucker. It's a classic. And the other one, and Uptown Saturday Night.
Okay, see that was so that was a decade earlier. But I'm thinking if I have to go between Beat Street and Breaking, which one am I choosing?
Oh, you're going Breaking.
Okay.
You're going Breaking. Well, okay, let me think. No, hold on. Breaking 1.
Right.
That's where you got Boogaloo Shrimp and Shabba-Doo, right?
Right, but you didn't like Breaking 2, Electric Boogaloo?
Oh, the original Breaking, because it was more street. The other I think in the second one when they had the girl jumping in there.
I think so.
Yeah, that was so unrealistic. But,
it was unreal. Their unrealism was unrealistic. That's what I hated about that movie.
First thing, I never saw anybody dressed like that in all my life, but I thought it was cool. When you had,
you remember who was in there? Do you remember the one person that was in Breaking? Ice-T. If you don't know, ladies and gentlemen,
the B-boys.
Ice-T was a B-boy.
Yep.
Ice-T was in the service, man. I don't know if it was the Army or the Marines, but Ice-T is old, bro. He's old.
Yeah, look, I remember I was one of the first few people in Chicago. Yes, I'm going to say this, right? That I had the cassette tape to Rhyme Pays because because Victor, my older brother, was in the music industry. Okay. And he gave me the demo cut of Rhyme Pays. Okay. I mean, when it first came out, it had Rhyme Pays, and on the other side of it, it was only 2 songs on it. It was Rhyme Pays, and on the other side of it was 6 in the morning. 6 in the morning, police at my door. Yep.
Tracy Lauren Morrow, born February 16th, 1958.
Oh, Lord.
In Newark, New Jersey.
I see. What, 65, 66? I'll be 60
so
here.
Happy birthday, happy birthday to you, man. Ice-T, and being one of the greatest hip-hop ambassadors of all time. But all of that pales into comparison to one film. And this is the film that I liken the Patrick Mahomes, Jalen Hurts thing to.
Okay.
Which one is greater? Is it Purple Rain or is it Under the Cherry Moon?
Come on now.
Both of them have Prince.
Don't even ask anything like that.
But who's great? Patrick Mahomes, Jalen Hurts. It's all a great time. That's all I can say.
Man, look, you can't compare Jalen Hurts to Under the Cherry Moon.
You can't. Jalen Hurts, Under the Cherry Moon.
No,
somehow that kind of works. I don't know.
No.
Go down to the record store.
The record store.
The record store.
The Shogun of Harlem.
Come on, bro. And first of all, shout out to my man Jerome Benton, because nobody knew Jerome was not Jimmy Jam, but Terry's brother. Nobody knew that. Nobody knew he was his older brother. But he was super flyed in. What other man? Because of him, right now, brothers run around with mirrors in their pocket.
That's true.
It's just,
hey, let me tell you something, though, man. That is still, to me, one of the greatest R&B / Minneapolis, whatever. I don't even know what their genre of music is, because it still holds up.
Yeah, That funk was funky.
777-9311. I'm gonna tell you what the greatest song that don't get no play is Gigolos Get Lonely. Not Gigolos Get Lonely too. Contrary to rumor. Yeah, Gigolos Get Lonely too.
Gigolos Get Lonely too.
Gigolos Get Lonely too. Oh.
That album, Oak Tree, man, okay, we gotta stop, man. Look, we gotta stop. We gone all off the reservation, bro. We all over the place.
I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to see who this kid was. Ernie Reyes Jr. Ernie Reyes Jr.
Ernie Reyes Jr. Is he still alive?
Born in 1972. Let's see.
Well, I hope he's still alive.
Red Sonja, 2009, Ninja Turtles. Was he a Ninja Turtle?
He was a Ninja Turtle? Wow.
I think it's what? Indiana. Oh, he's an Indiana Jones. Well, we knew that.
Yeah.
Early, career. What else did he do? He was 13 years old in the last track. I thought he was like 8.
You know what was funny? I found out, and maybe everybody knew this but me, but the little boy in The Golden Child was not a boy.
Oh, what's not?
Spoiler alert.
Didn't know that.
Yeah.
It was a girl? Did she
Tell
hit the child's head?
Hey, look here, man. I mean, if you're gonna get some money for it, like, hey, you're a baby, it'll grow back.
Yeah, that's abuse, isn't it?
No, God, no. I mean, look at us. Do we have hair?
Ernie
Are we
Reyes
being abused?
Eric Reyes was in Strike Force. He was in kickboxing.
Oh,
he fought in Strike Force. He won against Ryan Firthingham. How many fights did he have? He beat him in round 5. 3-0. He was undefeated. Looked like a mother Strike Force. He didn't fight too many times.
Okay.
Wow, yeah. He's the real martial artist.
Well, you know who's a real martial artist also? Us, baby, because we getting ready to kick out of here. Hey-ya! We getting ready to get out of here. You know who it is. You know what it is. It's the Sizzle in the building, and we will see you, our friends, on the other side.